Our guest today is Sophie Gaebeau, co-founder of Fiat Republic. Fun fact about Sophie, she holds a skydiving license for solo jumps. She recently relocated to Saudi Arabia and learned Italian in just 3 weeks to take a semester of business classes in Italian. Talk about embracing fear and leaping into new adventures. Sophie has helped launch and grow 5 companies, including her own. She launched HelloFresh in the UK, making the first deliveries to 10 customers just 10 days after founding. Fiat Republic reached $1 million in annual recurring revenue and secured over 20 clients within 18 months, even during the crypto bear market. In her talk, Sophie will tell us how embracing fear led her to leapfrog her entrepreneurial journey. You're up, Sophie.
Do you remember the last time you conquered the fear? Do you remember what you learned from it? I do. As children, we love a good fright. Whether it's big monsters in the bedroom, or a big jump out of a slide, or even a thrilling ride at the amusement park, we embrace fear and dive right in. But as we grow up, fears can make us feel uneasy, to the point of avoiding challenging experiences rather than embracing them. I believe that we should all strive to keep this childhood skill alive, because embracing fear is the key to unlocking our greatest potential. That is actually the reason why I accepted this talk today. I am not the most comfortable people when it comes to public speaking. But when the Elevendi team asked me to share a piece of wisdom with fellow founders, I knew I had to do it, given how much this life principle has helped me along my journey. One of my earliest memories of conquering a fear was just before I started university. Since early childhood, I wanted to go abroad to study. I was interested in new languages and culture, so the first opportunity I got, I took it. I left France to go and study for my bachelor in Canada. I remember applying to university, and I remember the thrill of receiving the news that my dream was coming true. My parents came in to settle me in and stayed a few weeks with me. But as they left, I froze. I was scared of living in Montreal and not liking it. I was scared about university and not making it a success. And I was also very scared of leaving my parents 5,000 kilometers away. Overcoming their own fears, they told me, just give it a try. Worst case scenario, you will not have any regret and you can come back home anytime. So I decided to follow this advice and stay. A few days later, I had made so many friends that I never gave it a second thought. That's when I realized that fear was part of the journey and that I would never let it hold me back ever again. I learned to recognize fear and act and ask myself, what are you afraid of? And what you will gain from conquering it, and act upon it. Fear has been a friendly companion before every major leap in my life. That is why I am now seeking it rather than avoiding it. After graduating, I started my career in finance. I just realized, yes, I didn't share my first picture. So this is me in Montreal. However, after a few years, I grew frustrated with not being hands-on in operational role. Transitioning from a stable career in finance and a steady paycheck to a startup was daunting. I was scared of leaving everything behind. During this period, I met with Purnima, that we are now seeing on the screen, who was living in Silicon Valley. We immediately bonded, and she told me, I have a bedroom available in Palo Alto. Why don't you come and find a way to work in the startups? It meant leaving everything behind. But I remembered Montreal journey and what it brought me. So 1 week later, I moved to Silicon Valley for a few months, and I launched my first podcast, 99 Startups. It meant to explore what made Silicon Valley so special for startups. But in truth, it was a great excuse to meet many people. So in just 3 months, I met 99 founders and people from the ecosystem, and I landed my job as founding marketers at HelloFresh UK. Because through the podcast, I had actually proven that I had a startup mindset. At HelloFresh, I led marketing, a field I had never studied in or worked in. It was terrifying. I didn't know where to start. I didn't know if I would make it a success. So what did I do? I went in a bookshop to buy, believe it or not, Marketing for Dummies. And then I crafted my plan. I was feeling out of my depth every single day. Yet, week after week, we were in the top growth market for HelloFresh. What this experience told me is that it's not about what you know, but it's about your willingness to learn and your ability to do so. After the national rollouts, I moved on to fintech, joining a banking-as-a-service startup, and I fell in love with the industry. When I met the founder of Fidor, Matthias Kruner, he offered me to lead the launch of Fidor in the UK, a digital community bank. I instantly accepted. And then I really freaked out. I had no clue about banking operations and even less about regulations. Yes, at HelloFresh, I had learned that we can learn many things, but this time it felt too big. But I didn't let fear hold me back. I, again, crafted my plan, and I took it one day at a time. I built my team, and we launched ahead of time, and we even beat targets. And we made it onto Sky News. That was also pretty cool. This experience told me about banking. It told me about working in a matrix organization. And it also told me about launching products globally. But most importantly, it told me that nothing is too big to learn. And now I get to say that I actually launched a bank in the UK. Later on, after spending a decade in the industry of banking as a service, launching and growing startups, I got offered the opportunity of writing a book with my friend, Scarlett Sieber. The most I had written were LinkedIn posts and a few blog articles. So the idea of writing a 50,000-word book about a single topic was really out of my comfort zone. However, at this time, embedded finance was gaining traction. And I had spent the last decades going through all iteration, helping fintechs launch competitive offer to banks, and then helping banks and brands launch competitive offers to fintech. So it felt like an unmissable opportunity. We said yes. We interviewed more than 50 people in the industry to outlay the opportunity lying ahead. We wrote the book in 4 months to be able to launch it at Money 2020 Amsterdam. And we did it again at Money 2020 Las Vegas a few months later. The book became a bestseller in banking, conquering the fear of writing such a big piece of a single topic. I had somehow become an author. Then became the biggest fear of all, the one of becoming an entrepreneur. So the fear of failure, but most importantly, of not being able to provide for my family, which held me back for many years. But when an opportunity arose, in line with my banking-as-a-service experience and my interest in crypto, I knew I had to take the leap. 2 years in, we have raised a bit more than $10 million, which has enabled us to grow the company to 35 people and from no revenue to $1.5 million annual recurring revenue. I conquered those fears and proved to myself yet again that fear is a signpost to opportunity and growth. If there is one thing I would like you to take away from this talk today is the following. Pause and reflect on your latest main life decision, and just think if some of them have been affected by fear. And if so, then set the bold challenge to overcome one of them, the most important to you in the coming years. It will feel scary, but I guarantee you it's going to be worth it. To show those are not empty words, I myself am making the commitment of making bolder decisions at Fiat Republic and beyond, and posting online. And I really hope in a year's time, at Point Zero Forum again, we can meet and celebrate our achievements and growth together. Remember, growth lies ahead or lies beyond the comfort zone. Let's embark this journey together.